BDR, and Passport Office to enhance efficiency and accountability. These are all institutions whose services the government provides. And it is only the government that can provide it. Everywhere in the world, it's the government that provides passport. DVLA, as you know, is the agency that assessing and licensing of drivers and vehicles in Ghana. In providing services, DVLA has been constrained by limited capacity in printing driving licenses due to outdated machinery. In response to the challenge, IT equipment have been supplied to DVLA to enable them print in-house these driving licenses. DVLA has 33 operational offices. All the 33 operational offices have been equipped with the relevant electronic equipment to print these licenses. The vehicle registration time, and I repeat, the vehicle registration time has reduced from 6 hours to under 2 hours because of the electronic system which we employ. Production of licenses has significantly improved from 700 licenses per day to 2,500 per day since 2022. So where we have to spend 700 a day, now we are doing 2,500. So naturally, this is helping a lot. DVLA has reduced the backlog they had of 76,000 unprinted driving licenses as at September 2021 to 8,000. They have reduced the backlog of 76,000 to 8,000. So naturally, giving them a few, they will clear the backlog. So this is very important. Birth and death registry has also been improved with printing of the relevant combined maternal and child health record booklets, and they have produced about 1.2 million of birth registry booklets for babies, newborn babies. Before then, birth and death registry were working in under various schemes. There were about 3 different schemes. Now we have harmonized the 3 into a single scheme, and we are able to print that many free of charge to them. The passport office is mandated naturally to produce passport, and passport is a security document. So naturally, every country is very careful as to who can hold Ghanaian passport. You must be a Ghanaian to hold a Ghanaian passport. So in producing a passport, there are certain checks which they have to do to make sure that you are Ghanaian. And so far, we have been able to support them also to do a lot of in-house printing. And the most important machine of capturing the biodata of the individuals. You need to capture the biodata of the individual, the face, in a particular way so that you get your data right. We have now also done this, and all the key passport areas we are now doing and producing them in large quantities. My problem, and I've still not been able to understand, we are faced with a problem we ourselves don't understand. A number of people do not come to collect the passports. People are so anxious and do everything they can to get a passport. After we've gone through to produce the passports, they don't come to collect. Now these centers have these uncollected passports. Takoradi alone has 8,000. Cape Coast had 8,696. Accra has 19,500 passports uncollected. And because we subsidize the production of these passports, we are printing them for people at about $4 when we should be printing them for about $100. So it means the subsidy of all these passports is locked up capital of government. Am I clear? We have printed a passport for you at a cost of say $100. We've charged you only about $5, but you've not come to collect it. So the government investment in all these subsidized passports is a big problem. We did a quick count this morning and found out that we have a total of about 86,000 passports uncollected or made. So what do we do? There must be some research, and I think one of our investors should find out why are people so anxious to access passports, but when completed they don't come to collect. What must have been the reason? I don't have the answer, but it's something that we should resolve. Perhaps we have to do other things before we issue the passport. But people always come for this passport, and the emergency, everybody is doing everything they can to get a passport. And now you have almost about 85,000 passports done, but uncollected. So we have improved it, but I want to bring that to the attention of everybody, and to those people who have also applied for passport, that they should go to their relevant centers and collect their passports. We have done many. Can you imagine 86,000 uncollected? And the amount of money sunk in this project by government. Now the DVLA, their story is different. They normally collect it virtually as you produce, so we don't have any uncollected DVLA. The project has improved access of the citizenry to some key frontline services. DVLA, in the quest to bring its services closer to customers, has introduced the DVLA Mobile Express Service, which they refer to as the MOBS, to allow customers to access services in the comfort and convenience of their locations. Upon request by any institution or group of persons, personnel of the authority, that is the DVLA, will assess their needs and agree on a convenient date for delivery of their service. That they can come to any point once you organize yourself to come and provide that service. The project supported this initiative by procuring 6 minivans with the relevant equipment for the DVLA to implement a tertiary drive which they reference. The BDR introduced mobile registration service as a means to bring registration service to the desk steps of parents, or mothers in particular. And we also provide incentives for people who register at birth. When we come, we don't come empty-handed. We'll give something for the baby. And this is doing very well, you know. We have also supplied some of our staff in the rural area with motorbike to move to the villages for the purposes of birth registration, so that you don't have to be in the big towns to register the birth. There are some of our countrymen who are living in hamlets, and we are assessing them now. We provided 120 motorbikes purposely to go around and register people in the hinterland. As a result of the intervention, BDR has been able to achieve significant increase in birth registration in these areas, from 58% in 2015 to 93% in 2022. So it's quite a big improvement. We were able to register 58% in 2015. By end of 2022, we have increased the percentage to 93%, and this is significant. When it comes to death, now Ghanaians are more interested, for that matter, anybody is more interested in the birth than the death. So the death register is a bigger problem. We were hovering around 14% registration of death. This has been improved to 38, which is almost 3 times over percent, and helping. We are now linking with the various funeral committees in towns and villages to help with this registration, and with the same motorbikes, etc. We hope to change the story very soon. Let me conclude by saying that the government provides certain essential services: passports, driving license, birth certificate, etc. And the government wants this to be modernized and to be improved. Let every Ghanaian, it's a right of every Ghanaian to have these services. We're making it easy for all Ghanaians to access these services, so that instead of using Goro boys and this and that, now we coming to you and making it easy for you to access this. Let me conclude by emphasizing that the public sector reform is a vital pathway to building a government that really serves the needs of its people and the private sector. Sometimes people don't see the need for you to pamper the private sector. If we are going to create employment, government alone cannot create employment. You can't expand the ministries to take on the graduates coming from the universities. If I give you some figures, you begin to shiver. When I was the Minister of Education, there were a total of 5 universities in Ghana, 4 public and 1 private. Now, as I speak, it's a total of about 92 universities in the country. So how can you rely on the public sector to create employment for this? And so you're going to have a situation where very well educated people are unemployed. So we've got to make sure that the private sector expands to support employment generation. And this is why it's important that me and you should provide services to the private sector to make it convenient for them to expand. And this is exactly what we are doing. Finally, I urge all stakeholders to commit to this path for public sector reforms with determination and service to the good people of our dear nation. I will therefore entreat the beneficiary institutions to sustain the gain and ensure periodic maintenance of this system we have given them. We've given them all this modern equipment. And if we do not employ that maintenance culture, every equipment needs to be maintained over a period. We're going to have a situation where these electronic systems, video conferencing machines, etc., will be hanging out unserviced and therefore cannot perform the job they are supposed to do. We have backup service to help with the maintenance, and we are appealing to the institutions who have benefited from this to have routine maintenance as a culture, so that this equipment will work and work for long. On behalf of the government, we take this opportunity to express our deepest appreciation to the World Bank to providing funds and technical support towards the successful implementation of the project. The project comes to an end on the 28th of June, which is, today is what? It's tomorrow. And therefore, we are using this medium to appeal to the World Bank that this project is so useful because it provides very important service to our countrymen, and that we would definitely ask for a second phase to continue with this program so that we can service our people. And it is important that the World Bank, before our application comes, looks at this sympathetically. These are services which our people need, and we need them to support it. We are hoping that the institutions who are also providing this service will prove beyond doubt that they are interested to help their fellow Ghanaians access these services in this convenient way. We have been very, very, very insistent doing it right, and we are hoping that after this, we will not only ask the World Bank, we are going to increase the catchment by talking to other donor communities to cash in, to support a lot more funds, so that it will not only be the World Bank, African Development Bank, the European Development Bank, and all other banks which can assist should come to our aid to provide these services to our people. Thank you very much. As the Deputy Minister mentioned, the experts from these institutions are here, and therefore the questions will be asked of me, but the answers will be given of them. So the institutions here will help us provide answers to questions which may arise after this. Thank you very much.
Wow. Of course, the man who makes economics so simple, at the end of every budget, you just stay glued to your TV and radio, and you break down every economic jargons to you in your local language, and you understand it better than anybody. It's done justice to what I thought would have taken more time than is done. It's amazing the kind of reforms. I now understand Mr. Kusibuafo's passion for the private sector reform project is embarked on, and I think that they've done a very good job. Looking at the statistics that has been churned out to us, it is a singular responsibility to ensure some of the things we are hearing, perhaps we hear them from other jurisdictions and we think that they are in the clouds, but here they are happening, the reforms are happening. In fact, I registered a vehicle and I was given a card. I was surprised. To my surprise, everything of my vehicle is now on my card. And of course, that is all the document, that is everything that entails. So I believe that we are going far. I believe that if you look at the services, DVLA, birth and death registry, where they are now going to the hamlet and be able to get people registered, having moved from 58% to 93% from 2015 to now, I believe that by 2025, we would have had 100% registration at birth. And of course, all the 33 operational centers of DVLA, of course, if you go, the stakes are quite different than it used to be. And that is what we expect of a government, and the government is delivering. We also make sure that the people, most people perhaps don't know of the services, and they still view public sector services as it used to be. But now it has changed. What I crave for is that for passport, 86,000 passports are still uncollected. We must find a way to even have them posted to individuals wherever they are at a fee. Perhaps it could be another business for somebody. You only pick the passport and deliver to you in your home. Once you've subscribed to get a passport, it could be somebody's business to ensure that it's delivered to you at a little fee, and people will be willing to do that. So we may consider this could be a good business idea for some people also to consider. So at this juncture, we will have to take questions from our media partners. Of course, let me remind you that this broadcast is live on GBC television. Ghana Broadcasting Corporation is live on it, on Ministry of Information website and all our social media handles at this moment. So colleagues from the media fraternity, you are welcome to ask your questions. Thank you. You mentioned your name and your media house, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Cliff Ekufu. I write for the Ghanaian Times. First and foremost, let me congratulate the Public Sector Reform Secretariat. My question is simple. We all know that a broken down system sometimes benefits a few within and their collaborators without. What mechanisms have been put in place to ensure that saboteurs are ward off the new reforms so that we can continue with the improvement of services? My second question is, for how long are we going to ask international donors to come to our aid? The senior advisor to the president said passport they print at is $100 and
the cost is $100.
Cost is $100, and then we pay $4. The disparity, who caters for that, and for how long are we going to ask donors to fund that space, that gap for us? Thank you very much.
We'll go to the Mr. Kusiwa for. Oh, you take this one.
Okay.
So senior minister would like to take that.
Well, let's ask
A number of questions. So.
Yes. Good afternoon, Honorable Minister and former Minister of Education and Finance. My question has to do with, there was an attempt to put up a modern structure for births and deaths to enhance their work. And by the time I went there at that time, they were in a very small cubicle and papers were being thrown here and there. I don't know, I want to know the status of that building so far. My second question, the Minister of Foreign Affairs tried to inch up the cost of passport, and people made hue and cry of it. What has happened to it? Have we come to a conclusion of that figure, or something is going to be done about it? Because like I was saying, you cannot pay $4 for $100 passport. I think it's not tenable. Thank you very much.
Okay, so my name is Timothy Ngembe. I report for the Daily Graphic. Mine is also in connection with the passports, the uncollected passports. We are told about 86,000 of them. 86,000 of them are uncollected. What is the monetary value of this uncollected passport? And what steps? Yes, so that we look at it. Then, what steps are being put in place to ensure that those passports are disbursed to their?
Okay, we take the last one, and then we come to you for.
Yeah, thank you. Atamensa from Ghana News Agency. Yes, as the senior minister said, 13
on public sector reforms.
Okay. Don't you think it would have been useful that the 13 institutions that benefited from the $24 million, this 6 years period, they should have updated the public from time to time so that we can, the money has helped those institutions, because now he has brought all the 13 institutions together to brief us, and so very difficult to delve into how it has helped them, each institution, 13 institutions. I think if each chief executive officer would have come out to brief us so that we can do proper accountability, I think it would have helped us a lot.
Well, not only accountability, but informing the public. And I can assure you, Ministry of Information will bring all of them here. So be rest assured, the 13 institutions will be coming here one after the other. Let me also offer this information on the birth and death registry. I'm a member of the local government committee in Parliament, which the birth and death registry under the local government ministry comes under our supervision. What the project is going to be funded by the Disassembly Common Fund. The design and everything is done. He had a little issue with the site, but now it's been cleared. So the last brief we had, that building will take place. So they'll do that. So please, you can take the questions. Please, you can take them.
I think we have been issuing passports since independence, and it's being paid out of budget. So it's something the government or all governments have been handling. Of course, if you can get others to modernize a system, if you look at it, the main objective of this program is to move in tandem with time. We want to modernize the system and do so with equipment, and we wanted support from outside, and I believe that's quite fair. It doesn't mean that if, let's say, we are appealing and we don't get it, that's the end of it. We will continue to support the provision of these services through the budget. Now that we have even the equipment already with us, it makes it easier, isn't it? What we left will be the software. So I think it's important that, as you mentioned, that the collection is done. And I believe what the minister said is important. This could create a business for other people. Now, the information I have is that sometimes when you try to call, you realize that even the telephone number given is that of a Goro boy. So they come there and they use middlemen to complete the form. And when they say telephone number, they use some of those who have helped them to complete the form, telephone number. So some of the telephone numbers are not accurate. So perhaps we really have to sanitize the whole thing and make sure that we have data such that they can be distributed through courier system. This, I think, is a very important observation. If you have accurate data on passport application, then it is easier to use a courier system to distribute if the need arises. And I think we should now insist on accurate data and then use the courier system to assist with the distribution, because we have addresses these days that we have digital addresses. It makes it even easier. So let us make sure that the data we have on the applications are accurate. So that system must be introduced, so that our emphasis should be getting accurate data in terms of addresses and telephone numbers, so that it becomes, the distribution becomes another business altogether. People can even distribute it as it goes. But it is not like if we do not get additional money from the World Bank or from other sources, that is the end of giving passports or something. No, it's something we do in normal through the budget allocation. But naturally, we may have to look at the whole element of subsidy. And this is something that will have to be debated in Parliament. It may decide that perhaps you reduce the subsidy and make people pay for the cost of the passport. The actual cost is something that has to be looked at. And it is not a decision that can be made by any particular minister. It's a decision that must be discussed and debated through the Minister of Finance and to the whole country. But the inability of donors to come in will not affect passport or DVLA services. That's a service which we provide and will continue to provide it with or without the support. That whenever we do a budget, and I've been Minister of Finance before, we take into consideration printing of passports. DVLA, everything is there. Now, easy up. Who are the saboteurs? I don't know whom you mean by saboteur. You see?
Let me give you one example of what we are working. The person charging 1,500, which is 15, and he told the person that he has only 700, and they were negotiating that maybe up to 800 will be okay for you. And then the Goro boy said, no, if you do that, you will spoil our business. A Goro boy who doesn't buy equipment, a Goro boy who doesn't buy materials, is talking about a business that will be spoiled for not paying the right price. So they told us that what we got from the person was that as for the increment up to about the amount they were charged 500, they don't feel any pain paying that. How to get the services delivered so quickly and so efficiently to them is what they are looking for. Now is efficiency and not the price of that. They are paying 3 times, 4 times that price, and sometimes they don't even collect, as you have seen. So the meaning is that we must work hard. All of you are parts. Now that within your head you can envisage some collaborators, sometimes in your writing and in your report you also let the public know. We tell them these are the processes. Go through the processes. You know, sometimes you need to get to the office yourself and then you want to use a middleman. The middleman will not give the services for you for free. He will charge you 3-4 times. Is that what you want? The reason we created passport office, DVLA, birth and death registry are for the services to be delivered to the citizens. So if you want anything to be delivered, now they are all online. Is that not it? So why can't you find somebody to do the filling for you? So tell your people, now we want to break all the systems, the machinery that is going against a Ghanaian. The main purpose of establishing passport office, DVLA, birth and death is to deliver a service to the citizens, and not to profit or fill the pocket of the so-called collaborators and Guru boys. So it is a duty for all of us to help Ghanaians and for our children and future generation yet unborn. We want to put a good system in place. We have started a journey of 1,000 kilometers. Start with a single step. Even if you call this a single step, it is something that we have started in a very good direction. So help us.
Thank you. Again, you are watching this live on GTV and on the Ministry of Information website and official handles. We'll take the last round of questions, or other than that, do you have more questions? Again? Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Ataminsa from GNA. I want Nita to help us understand how this project has helped its operations, as the senior presidential advisor said, because most government institutions rely on NITA for internet service, over the period, you have experienced challenge with internet facility, breakdown of internet access. I want to find out how this project has helped its operations.
Anybody from NITA here? No, NITA is not here. But if you look at the e-governance program, I think the support went to NITA for the e-governance program. Again, I'm answering because I'm a member of the vice chairman of the communications committee in Parliament, and NITA is one of the agencies we oversee. There's been significant improvement of the e-governance program where a number of MMDAs have been uploaded onto the government e-governance program. So if you talk to the ministries, department and agencies, the give mix that you see and all that is supported by the NITA program. So I believe that when we bring NITA here, perhaps they will shed more light on the e-governance program, and they are not part of this program. They are not part of this program, as it were. So they are not part of the 13 institutions that have been selected as beneficiary institutions of this program. A follow-up. Yes, please. Perhaps it will be the last one. Yes.
The people who go to births and passport office acquire them, most of them are individuals or semi-individuals who do not understand the processes at all. So that's why they hide the service of these middlemen. And sometimes you go there, you don't know they are not left or right. It's very cumbersome. I did a passport, instead of 3 months, it took me about 7 months to get it. But I didn't know the process, even though they get it. They will tell you, don't if you go in there, the officers in there, they're supposed to guide you, but most of them don't guide you. So, I mean, how do you start the problem? Because even in there, that is something.
Passport office. But there are client service centers in all over. I have gone rounds and I've seen client service centers at all their offices. I'm not speaking for him, answer though, but I think that your level of exposure, when you get to the client service centers, every information you want, even online, if you don't go online, once you get to any of their offices at the client service centers, you can access any information. And let me admit that they are quite friendly. They are so friendly. They will take you through all the problems. The challenge is that we don't take a little of our time to investigate some of these things. So we think that we still view public service delivery as public service of the 90s. But it has changed. Trust me. I went to Wager to register a vehicle. They offered me a seat to sit. Not because I didn't introduce myself as an MP. Nobody knows me as an MP or a minister, as it were. But the lady spoke to me and explained the processes to me. To the extent that, first question, is your vehicle in your name or a third party? If there's a third party, you must produce the third party or an authority from the third party. Formally, somebody can aid you to do the registration for you. That has culminated into so many problems in time past. But these days, no more. But once the vehicle was imported in my name, I said, well, your process has shortened. Then you can do everything yourself. And they told me, you get it within 24 hours. 24 hours, they gave me my card with every details on it. So please, I will invite you from passport office to speak to the issue. I'm not sure anybody will chase a passport for 7 months these days. No, please, so you can speak to it. There are premium service centers too we have around, so you can either access the premium service centers or the regular service centers. So please, you can speak to that.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Minister, for the opportunity. Okay. Let me also add my voice to Honorable Minister's assurance and reassure the general public and our colleague here that Passport Office is taking a new turn altogether. These days, from the day that you submit your forms, you come for biodata capture, we test you all along till your passport is ready and you get a text message to come and collect. So I'm not sure your 7 months happened from last year or now. So, but if, as the minister said, if you have any problem at all, from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Client Service Unit to all passport application centers Client Service Unit, just walking. The problem of the Ghanaian is trying to use another person. This is not about whether you are educated or not. When you get to the passport office, tell the security men, usually they are police or military men or national security operatives, tell them, these are my issues. They will direct you where to go. Go to the right source and seek the right information and support. But let me assure you once again that with digitalization, you don't go to any bank or anywhere to buy passport form no more. You sit at home, you do online application, you pay your money online to the government portal direct. You don't need any middleman, so to speak, to do your passport, especially at our level. Just walk into the office, ask the next relevant questions, and you'll be supported. I think.
Just give us your name.
My name, I'm Paul Kuju. I'm a director one at the headquarters. Our doors are open. Any issue, please walk into us. But 24/7, our client services unit are working 24/7. Thank you very much.
So the service delivery with respect to passport office is 24 hours. It's already happening. It's already happening. Only the three of you are asking for the question. Please let me take it from the gentleman behind you. Then.
I wanted a chief summary if you can summarize the entire conversation.
Wow.
I think my question is the uncollected funds.
Well, I can say, okay, that he's here. Please, direct again.
If we can get a regional breakdown of the excess house, we have it.
Yeah, we'll provide the update on that one.
The gap between the actual costs of the passport and what is charged. You may recall that recently we increased the passport fee. KETSI LI 2481. Parliament granted approval. So the normal standard passport now is 500. That is the basic one, the 32 page for everybody. Say it again. I think it's still less than, it's about $30 or less, roughly. But you know, we gave the range. Cameroon, at the time we were increasing our price, was $150 equivalent. Currently it's about $180. You know, Sierra Leone over $100. Nigeria, Liberia, we get the same source of supply for our booklet. They charge $50. And Ghana, by then we're charging under $7. 100 Ghana cedis. It will not take you a taxi from Accra Central to Legon or Medina. And you get a booklet, 10-year-old passport. To be honest with you, in our scheme of affairs, birth and death, driving license, I think passport is a more valuable document than all these. And then it was the cheapest. So you ask yourself, you go and get 10-year-old passport. That you go to the US, you go to Canada, UK, and you pay 100 Ghana. And it makes our passport vulnerable to our neighbors who were chasing our passports. Because they can come and pay more than 20 times and do for 20 people. Connection men. So please, apart from the fact that the money was woefully inadequate, couldn't even cover the cover page of the passport, we also needed to secure the integrity of the passport. So we need the support of all of us, especially our brothers and friends in the media, so that we bring the service to the level that we all desire. But let me once again assure you, if you don't have time, you go to our premium services center. We have a premium center in Accra, Kumasi, and Tamale for now. And then the headquarters is also there. Permit me to add that if you have any emergency, in passport administration, we have educational emergency, official emergency, and health emergency. If you are sick, you have been referred under emergency, walk to the director straight. You get to the security, you show them your referral letters from your recognized hospital. You go straight to the director. You'll be attended to. Even if it is a day, you can get the passport and travel. If it's an educational emergency, you got admission abroad and the notice came in late, go present your document to the security men. They will usher you to the director. You'll be assisted. If you have been nominated to cover a conference, the nomination came in late. That is what we mean by official emergency. With your official document, go and see a director, you'll be served. Thank you very much. I had a follow-up from Facebook, a question from Facebook, somebody watching on Facebook. So he's put a question. Abdul Latif Haida is asking why we don't start relying on the country's resources instead of always asking for foreign donors to support us in projects of this nature. So the venerable senior government advisor will take that. I believe he's answered a similar question. That, yes, he's answered that already. So Abdul, I will attempt to repeat what the venerable has said. That, yes, there's nothing wrong to ask for support. The World Bank itself or donor partners are looking for improved service delivery. Overall, it improves economic standing, revenue generation, ease of doing business, and rather put money in the pocket of the ordinary persons. Because if you look at the service delivery, what we are talking about, now you are not traveling from the north to attend interviews. Look at the number of backlogs, the number of people that have benefited from the video conferencing and video tele interviews they've had across the country. Thousands of people had benefited. They would have traveled to Accra, sleep in the hotel, eat, and then spend so much money. But today, in the comfort of your home, an interview is arranged for you. You can take the interview whilst you are home. So what it means is that the money you would have used to travel to Accra, sometimes congestion and all that, is being reduced. And that's what the most civilized countries, that's where they are now. And we hear of these things in advanced countries. So it's in all of us collectively as a global citizens to benefit from services of this nature. But like he said, the project has come to an end. The first phase has come to an end. It doesn't mean the project is ending. Government will continue to support. Since independence, successive government has been supporting budget, the cost of printing passport. But we are all concerned, how do you, the cost of $100 or $150, and you are charging for $5, woefully inadequate. They've given you the regional permutations of how our neighbors are charging for passports. So these are concerns that we must, and especially when government heavily subsidize the passport for you, and you don't have need for the use of the passport. You don't have the need for it. When we were doing 5 years, some people's passport had expired whilst they've not collected it. A lot more. So it costs government more. So we are giving the public education that if you don't have a need for a passport, please stay put. Anytime you need it, government will be willing to support you to get your passport printed. So is that, I think that's all. Summary in Chi. Wow. Well, this is an Ingo boy trying to summarize. Well, Kusibwafo, I think you can help us do that.
Yeah, let me see.
Yes.
I mean, see, I can't yo, the senior Kaya no do opportunity say public sector reform secretariat. Yeah, or a penny or public sector reforms for an impending for Bobo Mudim to me more Omunina a dinner dear Mutibi. The Ohone say World Bank a year, and she should be the culture World Bank and almost so him. No, me say Yemfesika, I shall say, you bear $35 million. Infimura in you be more a Wagana ha. Not say you mano. Inyam puntu na amanfo Ghana for hon towon na wo munyuma no entimi enkoso wawa eno no bobo nyuma no binum din to say Public Service Commission, Head of Civil Service, DVLA, Passport Office, Birth and Death Registry, Obodin, and afi Oka, Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Local Government, Regional Development, and NITA, actually you omo efremo, impona yipi kahon, actually you omo fremo. Now there about and they say, no, what say you build this system, sir, in humano ebekoso. Now humano akoso embra ye pe. That you say nipa hon chire no bebre. na oba Public Service Commission and the head of civil service wa kane no nanka interview bi wo ho no mo a agye so ofro car and na wo de aba bi kura ba fro alupre and na wo de aba ba ye we interview no apo promotion eti ekoma ebeboabo no a ye bebre ne nipa bi e wo se promote wo mo no menu ana da ho ache ya u promote wo mo na enye yie because ni enye ekwan nye wo mo interview na sa project yi ba ye no ye kofa afidie eba ye build system ma ye betimi aye interview no a ba bia wotie bia na ye betimi aye interview no ama ya assess wa me hu sampa afi de o qualify si promote wa na ye promote wo na ba sa no nipa bebre nya kwanya bebre ema o mu so yetimi interview o mu eno ne ka video conferencing no eno head of civil service enso so enya bi enti kania ko bi free tamale obi free brochire obi free baabi mia nyina beta so won kran oba ha dan obeto aduane adi na fe bi kura wonya baabi na kura wan hwe anu ada abonten na tutu botom fo akoto no botom na nipa bonifo bi adi no bone no ene ye yi wo ha ni nyina free wo mo so amenne obetimi atena wo dem na waso computer na interview na sa wo pass ya na promote na won saka usika no entem enti mesika begu botom kane no amfie be miensa enan na chese ye interview wo nti no unyenya wo promotion megiri sa na Ghana fo osu mo nyina amote enti ende ni nyina afri ho so oba DVL passport office emfidie ye mono ankasa abrochire de ye mo mutu kwan kohwehwe so mo anfo mo nsan koponte abrochire fidie a mo pe ebi ko America ekohwe ebi ko Canada ebi nso ko UK ebi ko man bebre so se afidie we ne yepe de yebeche amayen enu bi eni enya ya menu ayedi bi abre wo mo enti na DVL o mutimi ma ya printe kane no na meme de nukure ne ho de senior mo ho but na private man bi na printe o shere ba bi na printe e enti utifie kura na bonzuo ni bi kura wo de oni muka ni twie bi no menu a wotimi nya driving license na ni nyina enwanwa ho de wa anko ho ni nyina na kire no nti na ma we no baaye sese de wa won sabeka o driving license ene ya me ne wo kase no de wa mfa nsoso meba no na third draft tertiary wine no mo de wo Accra Technical University enti bopa mo pon a mo nko so mo ka no me nka se meba na me ka so mo mra ho na me fa nye example me beto o mo kon mu da mbuzo o mo se mo ko he no o mo se o mo ko ho na me se ni America kire me media people ni se ye mu bia o mbeba ha no ma ba behwe passport office nso sisi we hu se de esi akoso e hon ma e kama online na wa fill form se uni monyere mo ho ene akrachefo aba obi afie oye wo ho a o betimi afele bi de amamo de wonti ase no ofre pani no a ana ofre obi a obetimi ayeden a kire wo mu kane no na nipa suro se ye ko ho a ye ntia bi a ye betete ye be pampam ye eni ade ye na nan mukure bube bi se usuro apusu a okrata nura bemu ene etwem online nti pendinfo na bie wo mo kwan ene wo ko a wo client service no wo ko ho a wo bejo kama wo mo no ka se de minister kura show example bi so okotra ho se de o mu se jeje no so efaye enya tete ni biem ene munya kokoduro ti bo fa nhye Ghana fo mu se wo mu nya suro hwe aban ne de aban nya hwio aban be service citizens no enu ti na aban wo ho na usuro aban de a ene ese okura mpokura wo besuro wo kura usunsum aka ho ade na wo so usuro no aban ba no wabeboa na wasetere mu akoyie ama sese ebi aba mo nso so mo nhwe ena de yeye mu husu obi se no a mo me asonte enya de a wo se musuro de mo nti asie bia nso mo reporto se de mo pe ko na kobusa se eye sa na ena kwanya aba minu a wo so ko ye 7 years 7 months na won san kan ye ena se wo ko na da so te saa pani no anie ubetimi akoho se pani ensakra ye bia mai enti de ka the okan the chair mo say improvement yaba na fe ye kono nso no project no akona wiye e kina nko a be kona wiye menka say services no na akona wiye yo wo mo de wo mo wo ho aban be koso amasika am ye de ayeye passport ye de apprenti driving license ene niema no a muhu ye ni nyina including birth and death ye ni nyina obema services akoso na say aban de nka services nko de na nka ban no wagu na jeze nka gunu no nanso so said the World Bank no esitie no wo hwehwe se oman ni benya mpuntuo na ni sikasem egina na nipa nya asetena panenti no emire bia no ye ka na jese yakoso a kire wo mo kakra nye wo mo nko institution no bebre wo ho a ye be ka kire wo mo so wo mo meboa nanso so obi behwe wo ba ama okura se de ne ni din to de mfenya no mini aso ate ase ni din to de mfenya no say anybody din so beto enti obi World Bank be ye de ne a menua aban no eye na sede na ban so enyaye ye na obekoso aye na de ahoto aba magana na bi aho atom madam asesa na checha de nkosi
ebi say wa bono tofa kama enti chief one hey okay we will take that
It's English.
Okay.
Thank you. Honorable Ministers, all protocols. My name is Muslim from Best Index Registry.
Okay.
I just wanted to react to the establishment of the Director for Passport Office on a comment that passport that it is equally important as the Thank you.
Very well. In fact, it's only when you are in need of one that you place a premium of on it. But I don't think he meant to say that it's not important. They are equally important, of course. Now the good news is that I bet you are getting to be registered, so that it's helping even in our football administration. Now no more football age, and you are given your Ghana card number at birth. At 6 years you are issued with a card. So by the time somebody makes a decision for you, you're already captured in our national data, and that's where we are. It's quite progressive. The things we are talking about, we are not placing much premium on it. These are things you could only hear in America, Canada and elsewhere, but they are happening here in Ghana. Sometimes you talk about it and people are shocked the extent to which you've gone with our digitalization and things of this nature. So we entreat all of you as media partners to be able to disseminate this information and let people know that the services at our doorsteps, that at our fingertips, most of the things you can do them on your phones. And I believe that the Indians, what the Indians are doing is not different. We are not reinventing the wheel. We are actually doing them. Yesterday, we launched the Girls in ICT competition with innovation. A Ghanaian girl, 21 years, won the African competition. And you know what she did? She's developing an app that will help our mothers and fathers and those who are not lettered or who are not educated. Normally, they send their awards, they go to mobile money vendors. I want to withdraw 100 Ghana cedi. The vendor, if not touched by God, will withdraw 150 and give the woman 100 cedis. They don't know. They may even send their kid. There's a lot of problem with the mobile money sector. She's developing an app that will use voice, so they can actually hear how much they are taking. So that they give their pins to people and they abuse it. Their own children or people who are living with them. It's happened to my mother on a number of occasions. She doesn't know how her money gets to finish on her mobile phone. They will tell her is a e-levy. Thousands and cities are, and they will tell her, oh, it's the e-levy. Now government has brought the e-levy. E-levy is in somebody's pocket. Somebody has developed an app to be able to cure this problem in our society. True voice. Yes, true voice. You don't need to be lettered to be texting and all that. It's quite cumbersome. Somebody has developed an app. We are scaling it up to be on the market very soon. So a lot of things are happening here in Ghana. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Let me once again acknowledge the dignitaries we have here. We have the regional manager for DVLA, my own friend, Mr. Atakuma Mensah, is here with me. I can see my newly called to the bar, Lawyer Sika. You're welcome, my brother. And then project manager for public sector reform program, Dr. Betty Ano Atta. Once again, we acknowledge your presence here. The technical advisor at the office of the senior presidential advisor, Mr. Robert Kwabena Pokuchei, is here also with us. And of course, the director administration at the public sector reform secretariat, Mrs. Thelma Ohini Esiama, is here with us. We have director of reforms coordinating unit, office of the head of service, Madam Elizabeth Obin Yeboah. And then head of civil service itself, Dr. Evans Agridakon, is not here at the moment. Yes, supposed to have been here. Chairman of the Public Services Commission, Professor Victor Ajiman Esquire, is here. They've done a lot of work trying to help to scheme of services that are being developed and helping many institutions to reform to standards. And that's what is helping us to get the anomalies in the system and then entry point and all that. They've done that when I was at the National Youth Authority. Recently, they did that for Ghana Enterprises Agency and a lot more. I commend you for the work you are doing. And of course, the chairman of the senior presidential advisor, the Venerable Yao Osafo Manfo. We thank you for your invaluable service to this country. At your age, you are still doing a lot for us. We are so grateful. We also thank the project management unit committee members, all project implementation team members of the selected entities present, my own chief director, Madam Fati, I thank you sincerely, and all the staff from Ministry of Information. We thank you, GBC, for taking this live. I promise you, we'll be bringing the entities who are beneficiaries of this project, one after the other, to shed light on what they've achieved. It's quite significant, and infographics will be part of the presentations we'll be making to ensure that the good people of this country have a full benefit of the services government is delivering to the good people of this country. I thank you. May God bless all of us.